Hey there, everyone. How you doing? So I thought what I would do in today's video is summarize our business for 2019. We just closed our last, I guess you'd call it flip, right? We created a gorgeous pride of ownership rental, and it just closed yesterday. We should see the wire this morning. So given that, I thought I would take a stab at kind of telling you in broad strokes what happened for us in 2019. So as I was creating this video, I wanted to stay true to myself and this channel. I don't enjoy watching some of those channels seemingly brag about what they're doing. So what I wanted to do was talk in broad strokes, give you a real feel for what goes on in our business, give you kind of the big numbers, but I'm not going to sit here and kind of brag about what we made this year. I just think that's tacky. However, you will see, right? I mean, just looking at the numbers, that you'll see that we had an okay year. So sorry if you're looking for, kind of details down to the penny kind of stuff. It would actually take me days to do all the math behind it, but you will get the feel for what goes on in our business and the fact that, I do what I say. And, that the fact is this channel only exists because of what we do in our business every day. So without further ado, let's bring it up and go slide by slide. I think it's like 9 slides, kind of big summary stuff. So, okay. So what happened to our business in 2019? If it's your first time watching this channel, let's just say, kind of in summary, we are buy and hold investors that did it for now almost 17 or 18 years. We left the rat race because of our rental properties a couple of years ago. We now have more time and skill, so we do occasionally buy slumlord properties and fix them up and sell them to other landlords. We are still adding to our portfolio of buy and hold. So you will see a mix of things going on in our business. So first and foremost, we purchased 26 properties last year. So these are buy and holds as well as properties that were flipped. And you'll see a little bit of breakdown in a minute. But in the end, our names or our LLCs we're on 26 new properties. Some of these were already bought and sold, hence the change in past tense. But we purchased 26 properties in 2019. And that's properties, not houses, right? So we bought houses, duplexes, small apartments. So we purchased 26 properties, right? Think APN number, parcel number. The total value of the 26 properties at purchase, right? Some were just totally rundown houses. Some were small units. We did buy a small apartment building. The total value of the purchases was $3.1 million. The properties that were purchased as slumlord, right? So the majority, or at least quantity-wise, was 2.1 million. So about $1 million was added to our buy and hold properties. Most of that coming in a single 900K transaction. And then we added another house on top of that. We did sell 19 properties this year. So some of those were carryovers from last year. But again, we sold 19 properties. Again, a couple of multifamilies, one small apartment building. These were all fixed up, as you'll see in a minute, with significant dollars invested. And this is what's fun for us now, right? Buying something, putting 40, 50, 60K in it, and turning it into a functioning asset that both tenants and landlords are happy. Tenants are happy to live there, and landlords are happy to own it. They get cash flow day one, all of those things. Total value of the properties we sold. So again, we didn't sell everything. We kept stuff in our portfolio because we're still buy and hold people through and through. But we sold a total of $3.4 million in properties this year. Those were obviously all fixed up. They all appraised. They all had inspections. They all had tenants. These were some first-time landlords, some repeat buyers. We are seeing increasingly repeat buyers come back and saying, "Hey, I want another one. That one worked out. We want one more." That's obviously a great feeling because people appreciate cash flow day one. They like the fact that they don't have to do any more capital expenses, and they can just keep doing their busy job. So that is really fun to see. This was a huge number. I didn't expect it to be this big, but it was. We spent $640,000 on repairs. That's a lot of money, right? That's a big number, right? $640,000 on slumlord properties, turning them into pride of ownership rentals. So that's a big number. So I don't know what that breaks down to, probably $35K a house, I think, if I'm just doing the rough math, right? 19 divided by 640. I don't know. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but that feels about right. So again, big numbers. And, that's just bigger than I thought it was going to be. When I put that number together, I was like, oh my God. Something else we do, if you followed this channel for any length of time, we do talk about a program called 6 and 20. The 20% there is the profit we kick back to investors, right? Because you are our partners on deals. We don't do a lot of these now because, again, our cash pile is growing, but we do have a couple of going at any one time. But I'm happy to say we returned 150 grand in profit to our partners. I don't know what that breaks down because not everything we sold had a partner on it. Some of it, again, was with our own cash. But let's just say our partners were happy. I still believe the average, I haven't done all of them, but I believe we're still running at a annualized 20% return for our partners who are on, everything is always above board. There's a deed, they're named in insurance, all that good stuff. But I was really happy to see that we had enough profit where, again, at 20%, they received their profit. So that's, I don't know, I felt good about this number. The 640 scared me. I was like, oh my God, we did that much. But the 150 profit, that was fun to send back. Interestingly enough, we also took a couple of apartment buildings from our buy and hold portfolio. I'm sorry, no, this is, we added, that's the next one. We added 18 total units to our portfolio. 7 single family homes, a triplex, and 2 quads, right? People are always asking me, hey, right, you book one rental at a time, but you're not buying rentals anymore. Not true. We added 18 units this year. We will always be adding properties to our portfolio because that's what pays our bills. So we don't need a job, right? Flipping's a job. We don't need it. We are always going to be buy and hold investors first. It's just, we have the skill set, the team, and frankly, the time, because we're out of the rat race now, that we can do other things. But never be confused. We are buy and hold investors through and through. We did increase cash flow. I do believe talking about unit count is disingenuous because I know people have thousands of units and are broke every month because they're so levered and the property's not performing and they're gonna lose it in the next downturn. But I am happy to say that in the calendar year 2019, our cash flow went up $3,900. Now, keep in mind, we have a decent sized portfolio, so we can do that one of 3 ways. New units, right? So our 18 units that we just talked about added cash flow. Awesome. We have paid off some of our debt that we are carrying from the crash. We had some private money still at 10%. And then, of course, we have rent increases, right? Even with rent control in California now, we can raise rents 5%. So if you have hundreds of units and you raise rents 5%, that's a nice number. Not saying we did it across all our units, but hopefully you get the idea, right? Our cash flow can increase with new units. We're still paying off some debt, right? Rejuggling debt, and we have some rent increases. So I would call, 2019 a good year. My goal for 2020 is $5,000. But again, I didn't have that goal when I started 18, but that is the goal for 2019. This was what I was trying to talk about earlier. I've been very clear on this channel that I think Grant Cardone, the bigger is better, is pushing up the price of even small apartment buildings. I get so many phone calls from brokers and supposed investors saying, can I buy your building at XYZ Street? So we listed a couple of buildings this year, 118 and 113, for more than we thought they were worth, especially in the condition they were in. And they sold. One of them needed over 200 grand in immediate capital investments, and it still sold. So, if you follow this channel, hopefully it's clear by now, I do what I say. And I think small buildings are overpriced and they're priced for perfection. And I think the people that bought these are going to lose money. But again, I could be wrong. But again, on this channel, I've talked about multifamily being overpriced. So you can see in 2019, I did what I said. And we took that money and we moved it into single family homes because I can get a better return. If you follow our course, I have this spreadsheet I use to compare deals, and small units, houses in fourplexes are better investments in my market. So I'm just like we did, right? We wouldn't be retired if we didn't 1031 up. Now we can 1031 into other assets. So it's very important. In the end, do me a favor. If you're watching this, please hit subscribe. Help share this. Follow me on Instagram. Everything I do is one rental at a time. YouTube channel, Instagram page. And of course, have a wonderful new year. If you're watching this in 2020, I hope you have your goals for 2020. I look forward to doing this video again in 2020, late 2020. Frankly, if we repeat what we did in 19, I will call 2020 a success. This was a great year. We turned a lot of properties from slumlord to pride of ownership. We returned capital back to our investors. And frankly, we had a good time. So I wish you and yours all the best and have a great day.